In this series of videos, we're going to discuss how to create a simple end-tier architecture in C#. We're going to start with our database, and we're going to create this database in a project. Now, we've already gone through how to do this in previous videos, so we're going to go through it pretty quickly. But I wanted to show you how to do the complete development cycle. So I'm going to launch Visual Studio. It's going to bring up Visual Studio here, and I want to create a new project. And I'm just going to call this going to be a test project. So we're just going to call it test. This is going to be a Windows Form application. We'll click OK. Now, once we get this test application, what we want to do is we want to create a database. And the way we do that is we go to Project, Add New Item, and we go down here to Service-Based Database. This is going to be called test.mdf. We will add it. That will go out and it will create our SQL Server database for us. Now what we're going to want to do, let's go over to Solution Explorer. Double click on test.mdf and it will bring up test.mdf. Notice that we have no tables in the database right now. We've just created it. We want to have one table called users. So I'm going to add a new table and I'm going to call this table users. So once we get started, I'm going to just delete some of these other fields here. So I'm going to call this table users, not just table. And then I'm going to, I will have an ID here. I want to look at the properties because I want this ID to be an identity. So, and it will increment by 1 and it will have a seed of 1. It'll start out at 1. Of course, we don't want to allow nulls here. The next thing we want is a field called email. And the data type here is going to be nvarchar. So we're going to say nvarchar. We're going to just say nvarchar of 50. And we don't want to allow nulls here. And we want to have a name, and that indeed will be again nvarchar of 50, and we don't want to allow nulls there either. So once we've done this, we have exactly what we want here. So we're going to update, and that will then go in and create our database for us. I'm sorry, it'll create the script for us, and then we'll say update the database, and that will actually go in and create our database for us. When we see that the update has been successfully completed, we will go over here, refresh our database. We will then see our users table in the database. We will then show the table in the database, so we can start adding some fields to our database, so we'll have something to test later. So let's just put in ddOUGHER at pcc.edu, and this will be Dan. Okay, and let's see. Next thing we'll go through, and here we go. Expand out those fields so we see this, and we will add some other fields to this as well. So let's just say test at test.com, and this will be our person called test. And let's just create a few other ones. Let's say ABC at ABC mt.org, and we'll just call this U1. Okay, so we have created this database and we've put a few different users in it. Okay, that's basically it for our first video. What we've done is we've just done a very simple thing. We've just gone out and created a database. Next time we're going to talk about how do we create a business rule class that will access this database.